Yo, what's good, my what pack? Alpha of the pack right here. And today in this video, man, I'm going to be doing a review of Eden Zero, chapter 163, Wormhole. 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 Eden Zero, chapter 163, Wormhole. What the hell is a wormhole? But yo, um, this chapter was hot, bro. It was hot. Flames, fire of the hottest degree, right? The chapter was so hot, it invigorated my soul, bruh. It invigorated my spirit to get in front of this camera and talk about this chapter. Because I've been rocking Eden Zero. I read it every week, but I haven't been feeling like doing a review. But this chapter was so crazy, so hot that I had to talk about it. Also, Peep Shinra. Peep Shinra. I'm rocking a Fire Force shirt. Look at my boy, looking clean. But yo, flames this chapter. So, well, first let me say this, right? Everybody and their moms, ever since this arc started, or since we got to like the middle section of this arc, right? Of the war saga, right? Ever since we got to like at least the middle section of this arc, everybody and their moms just keeps on saying that Rebecca's gonna use Cat Leaper. She's gonna erase everything. We're gonna jump to World 31. Nothing's gonna happen. No death, no stakes, no overdrives. Everything's just gonna be erased. And I'm like, bruh, there is no way Hiro Mashima is just going to erase everything that happened in this arc. If he does that, it will significantly damage this arc and it will negatively impact Eden Zero as a whole. There's no way. Okay, it was cool when Rebecca used Leaper in the Drake and Joe arc. It was necessary. We needed that. Okay, it was 100% necessary. But even with that, I don't see Hiramashima just constantly, consistently having Rebecca use Cat Leaper to get them out of bad situations. That doesn't make any sense. I don't think he would do that. Even I just don't believe he would do that. There would be absolutely no stakes, no seriousness to this story. Everything that's anything that somewhat serious happens, you wouldn't feel any tension because you'll be like, oh, Rebecca just gonna use Cat Leaper. I don't think that's the case at all. There's no way Hero would ruin his own story like that. Y'all got no faith in my man. I got faith in my boy. I don't think he would do that. Not at all. And I mean, I guess Ruka could you reverse, but going back a minute or two wouldn't really do anything. It wouldn't change anything that happened. So that would be ultimately pointless. So y'all just looking at Rebecca's powers in a negative light. Y'all just think that she's basically gonna erase all tension when that's not the case at all. So yeah, that's what I gotta say about that. But yo, this chapter started off. Or rather, it continued with Shiki versus Shura from the last chapter, right? Shura crushed Shiki's eye with his gravity. Now, when I saw that, dog, when I first saw that, my mouth dropped. I was like, there's no way this dude just crippled my boy. I mean, in a sense, technically, Shiki is crippled. This man is missing. It's his left eye, right? This man is missing an whole eye. This dude, Shura, literally crippled my boy Shiki. Now he's still in his overdrive, and so is Shura, but that's not the point. My man is basically immobilized in pain. He's standing there screaming with blood gushing out of his eye socket, right? And Shura don't care at all. Shura didn't give no F's, all right? Because he just started pounding Shiki, pause. He started pounding Shiki, no homo. Just delivering punch after punch after punch, just mixing on my boy, and just kicking him through the floor, just hammering on Shiki. My boy Shiki is not having a good time. Now there's a moment where he tries to make a little comeback. He punched Shura in the jaw, making blood fly out of his mouth. But then, Shura begins to like use his gravity to manipulate the debris, the rocks and stuff around him, and he just sends them raining down on Shiki, and Shiki is just getting pummeled with rocks, hitting him all over his body as he's falling to the floor. And then Shura, he uses his gravity to manipulate this big boulder. I think it's what it was. He uses his gravity to manipulate this boulder and turns it into a lance. And he chucks the lance at Shiki and it pierces him in his chest, right? And Shiki goes, he continues to fall down to the floor. And Shiki at this point, he's immobilized in pain. He can't move at all. And he's moaning, he's groaning, he's talking about how much pain he's in. Shura's talking big trash, talking about, do you see how much out of your league I am? How much power I have over you? He's talking big trash, right? And it looks like while Shiki is impaled and how he's talking about how much pain he's in, it looks like, or rather, it's implied that he lost conscious because he like slumped forward. He slumped down forward and then fell down. He wasn't moving, and Shura was just looking down at him with that stupid Victoria smirk on his face, right? And it's after that we cut to Rebecca, who just reached the Alling system, right? But before she could do anything, try to figure out how to shut it down, do anything, a bunch of soldiers run in. They're all like, "What are you doing here? Who is that girl? Get her! Stop her!" And then Rebecca's all like, "Man, I don't got time to deal with you niggas." She didn't say that. But Rebecca's like, "I don't got time to deal with y'all." And she gets happy to transform into the pistols. Rebecca, my girl, my baby got the moves. She got the moves. She jumping, she leaping, she gliding across the floor, just blasting on fools, man, taking them all down. Oh man, y'all can't see my girl don't got no scale. Rebecca was putting in the work. All right, so she blasting down these grunts, right? And then all of a sudden, the soldiers they start exploding one by one. They're like, what's going on? What's happening? And then it, and they keep blowing up until eventually every single one of them are dead, and there's just a bunch of blood covering the floor, blood splattered all over the ground, right? And the last soldier, before he uh before he died, he looked at Rebecca and he said, "Help me!" And then he just exploded, right? And Rebecca's freaking out. She got her hand over her mouth. It looked like she's about to cry. Happy and Pino are freaking out. They're like, "What's going on? What's happening?" And then Shura descends from the sky, no longer in his squid overdrive. It's funny because when I first saw it, I was all like, "What the hell is that?" But then the more that I looked at it, I really liked it. At first I didn't like it much, but now I really like it. But he descends from the sky out of his no longer in his squid overdrive form, right? And he's just smirking down at Rebecca, Happy, and Pino. And Happy's all like, "Shura!" And Rebecca's all like, "Shiki, where's Shiki?" Pino's like, "Where's my master?" And Shura laughs and says, "Shiki is dead." And Rebecca's all like, "No, there's no way he's dead. I don't believe you." And then Shura just uses his gravity. Uses his gravity to crush Rebecca, Happy, and Pino. He has them pinned to the floor. And he was all like, "As you saw, it's not difficult to crush people, but since you've come all this way, I'll let you watch what I'm about to do." And then he starts fiddling with the all-link system, and he says, all of the machines, the robots in the IOU cosmos, are about to die. I win. And Rebecca's all like, "Stop! Don't!" And he's all like, "Even that your little robot friends are gonna die, turn to crumble into nothing before you." And Happy's crying, Pino's crying, and but before he can really do anything else, he's acting up. He's activating the all-link system, but before he can continue, after he says "I win," Nero, Poseidon Nero appears on this giant screen. And he says, "You win? Surely you jest, my boy." And Shura's shocked. He's befuddled, puzzled. He looks at the screen and he's all like, "Father, what are you doing here? I thought you were fighting Ziggy." And he says, "Victory." Nero says, "Victory is reserved for me. There is no victory for you." Right? And when Shura asks what he sees doing there and what happened to Ziggy, he thought Ziggy attacked the temple. There was this hot scene, this hot panel where Nero he pulled up he pulled up something, right? And as we got a better look, it showed he was holding Ziggy's head. That was the cleanest panel, probably my most favorite panel outside of Shiki first achieving overdrive. That had to be my favorite panel in the whole manga, dog. That was just the cleanest shot. Just Nero holding Ziggy's head. Like, oh, you mean this? That was like the biggest flex, right? And Shura is terrified. He's freaking out. He's realizing that all of his scheming, all of his plans was for nothing because Nero tells him he knew what Nero tells Shura that he knew what he was up to this entire time. He didn't fool anybody, and even the bombs, the 20,000 antimatter bombs that Shura was going to use to blow up Planet Nero, or rather the temple. Nero used his ether gear wormhole to send the antimatter bombs back to Planet Nero, right? So, and Shura's really upset. It looks like clearly this man is not used to losing. It looks like he's about to cry. This man is having a whole emotional breakdown. He's all like, no, no, I didn't know anything about you having an ether gear. You can't just move 20,000 bombs. That's not possible. I was supposed to win. He's having a whole emotional breakdown. And Nero's all like, if you don't believe me, why don't you go ahead and set off the alling system? Or rather, not the alling system. He says, why don't you push the button? Set off the bombs. Are you going to destroy the temple? Or are you going to destroy Planet Nero? And he's trying to steal his resolve. He's like, no, no, you're bluffing. You have to be. There's no way. I win. I won, you stupid old man. And right before he presses the button to set off the bombs, which I think Nero already knows. Nero already knew of Shura plans, right? Which if he really didn't send the bombs back, I don't think he would be so confident for Shura to go through with setting the bombs off, right? So I'm sure he actually did send the bombs back to Shura's location away from him, right? So in that case, it just really goes to show that Shura and Nero really don't really care about her. Well, I'm going to assume at one point Nero cared about Shura, but in the last chapter he said that in requirement of him utilizing his Empire dice, in requirement of he using the power of the dice, he has to sacrifice a lot of things, his friends, his family. You know, he had to sacrifice a lot of stuff to get to where he is, to get to be emperor of the Aoi Cosmos. And I'm assuming that one of the things he sacrificed to achieve his status, that power, was his relationship with Shura. So I'm gonna say, at some point, Nero might have cared for Shura, but at this current point in time, there's no love between them, which is why he doesn't seemingly care if Shura dies, which is why he was so confident in Shura pushing the button to set off the bombs, because it's all like, if he dies, he dies. It's just what has to happen for me to win this battle, right? So, as Shura was about to set off the bombs, Shiki comes flying in, crashing in through the ceiling, and he delivers this a massive kick to the back of Shura's head, sending him flying down. Rebecca's happy to see Shiki. She's all like, Shiki, my boy. she didn't say my boy, but she is Shiki's girl. You know what I'm saying? Now that's her boy, but all right. So Rebecca's happy to see Shiki isn't actually dead, and as Shiki sends Shura flying, he's all like, "Our fight wasn't over yet, Shura." And he's still in his overdrive, by the way. I love Shiki's overdrive. It's just so clean. I love it. And Nero, he's watching this on his screen, and he's all like, "Who is that? Who the hell is that?" And you see a hand go through. It goes through Nero's back, through his chest, right? And Nero, he's coughing up blood. He's in pain, but he looks behind him, and he says, "Ziggy." And Ziggy, still with his head, and well, his head is on the ground now, and Ziggy looks at him throughout his one eye and he says, "That's my boy," in a manner of speaking. "Our fight wasn't over yet, Nero." And that's where the chapter ended. It ended with Ziggy saying our fight hadn't hasn't ended yet, mirroring what Shiki said to Shura, right? And I love how Mashma basically Mashka played the ultimate troll move, because when I read this chapter, I really thought when Shura said Shiki was dead, I really thought he was dead. And when Nero was holding up Ziggy's skull, I thought Ziggy was dead. So I was all like, no way did seemingly the big bad villain Ziggy die and the main boy, my boy Shiki, died. There's no way both of them died, but it really looked like that. So I gotta applaud Hiro Mashima for the twist, because I was shook. I was like, "There's no way this is possible." But at the same time, I didn't believe Caliber was gonna happen. I'm like, okay, we still got a whole war going on. Surely something's gonna happen. Surely these two are still gonna go down. But I was not expecting a twist at all. With Shiki coming in, busting through the ceiling, and Ziggy shoving his hand through Nero's body, and both of them being all like, "Our fight wasn't over yet," and that's what the chapter ended. It was so hot, dog. It was hot. It was fire, bro. Oh man, I really can't. I really love this chapter, and I can't wait for the next one, man. Oh man, bro. I reread this chapter like multiple times. Everybody's online is going crazy. Everybody on Twitter going crazy. Everybody on Reddit going crazy. Bruh, a great chapter, man. Best chapter of the arc. Best chapter of the arc. Tops um all the chapters where a majority of the crew got their overdrives. You know what I'm saying? It tops when Rebecca leaped into the future and we saw adult Shiki and Noah, and Rebecca had no legs. It tops, bro. All the crazy stuff that happened in this arc prior. This chapter topped it. Oh my god, bro. This is definitely the best arc in Eden Zero. It officially topped the Belliogo arc. This is the new number one arc in Eden Zero. Hands down. Better than Drake and Jill arc, bro. Oh man, I'm wondering. I'm really curious as to how these fights are gonna end now, because it's even with Shiki fighting Shura and Ziggy fighting Nero, we still got the whole war with the Interstellar Union Army and Oasis in space. So we still got a lot of stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really wondering what's gonna happen right now, dog. But yeah, man, that's it. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see y'all in my next video.